Here we are on lesson 16 of A Witch's Primer Revisited. This is a very brief lesson, but good things come in small packages, I always say, so I hope you enjoy it. This is a lesson on wand magic. What's more magical than a magic wand? You think about a magic wand and you think about witches and druids and fairies, magicians. Typically, a magic wand is made from wood. You can create your own magic wand, or you can purchase one. Wands can range from something very rustic to very composed and ornate. It can be plain, or it can include stones, be wrapped with metal. Very simple, very elaborate. It's up to you. It's important to remember that your magic wand is distinct from your elemental wand, such as your air wand. Some people have a wand that's associated with fire. Some people have a wand that's associated with air, depending on the correspondences their traditions follow. But this magic wand is not an elemental wand. It's consecrated to all the elements. This is a wand that's specifically reserved for casting spells and performing magic. And it's perfectly fine to own more than one wand, based upon your aesthetic, your own craft. And it's so important to remember that in general, that this is your craft. There are guidelines. There are things that seem to work better than other things. And that's the benefit of studying with somebody who's got more experience than you. They can teach you things that they've discovered and that they know. But ultimately, how you practice your craft is completely up to you. And I want to remind you one more time that there are no witch police. There are people that act like they're the witch police. You see them all over the place telling you, you can't do this and you can't do that and you should never do this and you must always do that. But they're self-appointed. The craft takes care of itself. Now, people do misuse the craft, but it's not up to us to police that. Nobody really has the right to speak for the craft as a whole, only their own experience of it. So if somebody's doing something that you think is wrong, you can say something as a person, but it's up to them and the craft. It's really not our business. The craft really does know how to take care of itself, and everything will be the way it needs to be in the end. And so we can just let people do their thing. Getting back to wand magic. Considering the magical properties of different woods, if you want, you could have a different wand for different kinds of spells. And I know people that do. They have a prosperity wand, they have a protection wand, they have a love wand, they have a divination wand, and you can do that. The sky's the limit. For me, that is way too cumbersome. I don't want that many wands. I don't like a lot of stuff. My craft is not cluttered. If you have a lot of stuff, you have a lot of stuff. And then there's so much stuff to take care of. And some people love that. Some people love to have a lot of stuff. I don't like having a lot of stuff. I like having enough stuff, but not too much stuff. But you do you. You may just feel drawn to a certain type of wood that has a special resonance with you. Maybe the wood resonates with your sun sign or your moon sign or something like that, or you just like that kind of wood. That's up to you. My wand is birch, and it's just because I thought it was nice. I like the feel of it. I didn't go out and say, okay, I must have a birch wand in order to ... I just liked it. It resonated with me. I thought, this is mine. And that's the way that most things are with me, with the craft, is I'll have an instant affinity with something and I'll say, I got to have that. That's what I want. Or if I make it, obviously, I'll have an instant affinity with it as well, rather than making sure that every little correspondence links up properly. It's good to have those correspondences and understand them. But at the same time, in addition to understanding and working with the law of correspondence, there's also the law of resonance. And if you just resonate with something and it feels like yours and you don't care why, that's very magical also. You can make the wand yourself. You can find the wand and just use it in its raw state. Or you can buy one or have someone make it for you or have someone give it to you. There's no rule. At one point for my wand, I had a piece of driftwood that was in the shape of a wand. It was the craziest thing. I've never seen any piece of driftwood that looked like it had a little handle, it had a little tip on it, and it just washed right up to me. And it came right to me. And it was my wand for a long time. And I remember so many people saying, "Oh, you don't want driftwood as a wand." And I thought, yes, I do. It came right up to me. That's my wand. What are you saying? I don't want driftwood as a wand. I used that wand for many years. I finally retired it and got something else, but I loved that wand. There are many skilled wand makers online. Some of their stuff is just so beautiful. And if you like something more ornate and composed like that, I say go for it. If you like the way something looks and you like the idea of a specific type of wood, you go for it. Other people prefer to cut the wand themselves from a tree and then dry the wood and sand it down and make it themselves. And you can do that. Technically, you're supposed to give a gift when you cut the wand from a tree. It's usually a piece of silver that you place at the base of the tree. Some people say a few drops of your blood, but I don't think that trees necessarily are asking for blood. But it's just an acknowledgement of an exchange, that you recognize that you're not just taking from this tree a piece of wood. You're acknowledging the tree and thanking it and asking permission and then giving something in return. And that's a very common practice. I've found perfect wands ready to use just laying on the ground before. You do want to consecrate your wand. And when consecrating your wand, it's a good idea to consecrate it to all 4 elements. Now, I do have a video on how to consecrate this kind of a wand that's on my YouTube channel. With any consecration, you start by cleansing the item and then dedicating it to a specific purpose. So with this, you would cleanse the wand with salt, water, fire, and air, just like you have done with all of your other tools, and then dedicate it to each element. Some people like to dedicate it to 5 elements. Some people think that the 5th element is inherent in the 4 elements. So they don't specify the element of the spirit or ether. Your own consecration is going to be so much more powerful than me giving you a formula, because you already know the basics of it. But here's a type of consecration you could do. For instance, if you're in the northern hemisphere, you could start in the north in your circle, or you could start in the east, whichever you want. Let's just say you're starting in the north, and there's a dish of salt in the north of your circle, and you sprinkle a little bit of that salt on your wand while stating, "I dedicate and consecrate this wand to the element of earth." Then you would move over to the east, and you would have some incense burning there. You would wave your wand through the smoke and dedicate the wand to the element, saying something like, "I dedicate this wand to the element of air and to the direction of the east." Or maybe you have some perfume that you're going to spray on it because you don't like to burn incense. You could even breathe on it or blow on it. Then go into the south, and there's a candle burning there. And you could say, "I dedicate this wand to the element of fire and to the direction of the south." And then quickly and briefly, so you don't damage the wand, waft it through the flame of the candle. Then you move into the west. There's some water there, and you sprinkle the wand with a little bit of water. Sometimes I'll add a little rose water to that, or lavender water, something to make it extra yummy, and sprinkle the wand with that. And state, "I dedicate this wand to the element of water and to the direction of the west." And then you stand in the center and face your original direction, in this case, the north. Lift the wand above you, honoring the sky, and then lowering it to the ground, saying, "Father Sky above me, Mother Earth below me, I dedicate this wand to you." This imbues the wand with the energies of all the elements and the above and the below, which is spirit or ether. When you sense that your wand is fully consecrated, then you move on to naming the wand. It's an ancient tradition in wand magic that you name your wand, that acknowledges that there's a spirit in the wand, and that you are connecting with the spirit of your wand in the wood of your wand by either asking for its name or telling it the name that you are going to be working with when you're calling upon it. You might meditate with your wand, ask for its name. Do this on a new moon or on the night before a full moon. I prefer to do it a day or 2 after the dark moon. Let's say that the name of the spirit of your wand is Symphonius. You would write that down so that you don't forget. Name your wand, saying, I name the spirit of this wand Symphonius. And then you wrap your wand up. When you're ready to use your wand for magic, take whatever you're focusing on. You want to distill your desire down to some simple, easy chant that's easy to remember. Now, if you haven't worked on thought forms yet, if you haven't built any thought forms, you may want to wait on working with your wand until after you've gotten better at thought forms, because you'll probably be more successful with your wand magic if you have some experience building thought forms. You will start out by visualizing your desire, usually a simple little scene that proves to you that it's done. Let's say you're doing a spell for healing your broken arm. You'll see yourself using your arm in such a way that proves to you that it's no longer broken. You'll have a little easy scene of you playing tennis or whatever it is that you're doing. You'll start out by visualizing your goal, and then you'll start to chant your little ditty. The next step is to take your wand and draw in the air a symbol that symbolizes your goal. Maybe a $sign or whatever the sign for currency is in your country, if it's for money, or a heart if it's a love spell. It can be any symbol that's meaningful to you, but something that's very basic and easy for you to draw in the air. You could even draw in cursive the name of something. Experiment on your own and see what works best for you. While you're chanting, move from visualizing your scene to visualizing the symbol. You're creating a thought form with your wand by tracing this symbol over and over again in the air while you're chanting. Let's just recap what we've done up till now. You've started out by visualizing a very simple scene that proves to your mind that what you want has happened. While you're doing that, you start a chant that encapsulates your desire. Then you start to trace in the air a symbol right on top of whatever it is that you've been visualizing. And then you move from visualizing the scene to visualizing the symbol that you're tracing in the air. And you trace that symbol over and over again while you're chanting your chant until you get a sense that it is done. When you feel like your thought form is solidified, you feel like your thought form is ready, if it's just a quick manifestation, just use your wand to release it so you can manifest it. You can flick your wand up into the sky and see that symbol moving way up into the sky. If you've cast a circle, you can push it straight up the cone of power out the tip and just see it moving up and out where it's going to go manifest. The same rules apply as any other kind of thought form that you're working with. It's just that you're using your wand to build the thought form. And the reason why sometimes we find that the wand magic works even better than the basic thought form is because we are tapping into that ancient archetype of the magic wand. There's just something special about aligning with the spirit of your wand, aligning with the spirit of the wood, and seeing your thought form being built through that. There's something essentially and uniquely magical about the wand, and developing a bond with your wand is very special. And as you become more skilled in wand magic, you will realize that you can do a lot with it. It just takes some experimentation, time, and practice to build up the rapport with that spirit in your wand and with your wand itself, and then using that relationship that you are forging to create what you want. Wand magic is one of those things in my practice that really works. It's enjoyable, it's fun, and it brings me results. And I find that this kind of thought form building with a wand is much more streamlined for me than doing it without the wand. Not that regular thought form practice doesn't work for me. Of course it does. But I like to do it with the wand just because it just seems to be a little bit more quick. It seems to be a little bit more effective for me for whatever reason. So I encourage you to give wand magic a try for a few months and just see if you can't build up a rapport with that spirit of the wand and make things happen. It's always important to keep a magical diary so that you can make sure that what you're doing is working rather than you going down a fantasy rabbit hole pretending things are working. You want to make sure that you're getting results from your magic. If wand magic is something that sounds interesting to you, you may want to practice it for a while and keep copious notes and make sure that you can say, oh, I wanted this and I got that. I wanted this, but I didn't get it. Or I wanted this and I got something different. So that you can A, gauge for yourself whether wand magic is really working for you, and B, if it is working for you, where you can troubleshoot it and how you can alter your practice so that you have your results be more acute and dependable over time. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I hope you enjoy working with your wand. Until next time, blessed be.